People who fell into coma, what did you see/feel during coma?
My husband was in a coma following a motorcycle accident. He said the last thing he remembered was the accident, and it was like he'd been trapped in that moment forever. He said it never stopped hurting. After he woke up, they had to physically restrain him because of the hallucinations the morphine was causing.
My uncle was in a bad motorcycle crash and was in a coma for 3 days. First, he has absolutely no memory between when he first got on the motorcycle and waking up in the hospital. Everything between is just gone. As well, when he woke up he wasn't immediately awake and fully functional. He'd suffered serious head trauma, so it took a few days for him to get his faculties back. At first he couldn't even really speak, and could only really respond to basic questions. He said his memories of that time are spotty. It's not until a week after the accident that he said he feels like he was back to anything resembling normal.
Nothing. I heard things, scattered parts of conversations, general hospital organization stuff. But I didn't feel anything till I woke up. Then it was a mix of confusion, slight worry, and the usual gagging on a ventilator that's still down my throat. No dark tunnel with a bright light, which I find comforting, actually.
As someone who is about to leave on a motorcycle road trip, this thread is very unsettling.
Just a long sleep. Waking up after a coma, now that's a different story.
2-week induced coma, may as well have been a 20-minute nap, except I woke up feeling like complete beep.
6 weeks ago. Long story short, my diabetic insulin pen malfunctioned, had a seizure and broke my back, found in my dorm room approximately 18 hours after losing consciousness, and I woke up 4 days later. ICU staff allowed my whole family in after visiting hours BC. They didn't expect me to wake up. I don't remember a thing, but I was slightly responsive to my mom the last 2 days, not to the doctors at all though. Patients can absolutely hear and understand you, but it's very traumatic and I think the brain just has a way of blocking it out. Or maybe it was the anesthesia for the ventilator BC that certainly makes you foggy for a few weeks at the least. Even once I was officially awake, aware, responsive, I still have no memory of the first couple days afterwards.
I was in an induced semi-coma for 15 days. Had horrible night terrors thanks to the meds. Just absolutely terrifying. I thought I had died and was in hell at several points. I metabolize certain medications very quickly, so I would go in and out of consciousness. Around day 7 or so I learned to recognize what was real and what wasn't. After that the night terrors got less terrifying. Around day 12 they started to take a turn towards the absurd and it became really easy to get out of them and wake myself up.
Not really a coma, but I collapsed and was out for about an hour due to diabetes recently. Before I basically fell asleep and I was unable to move, feel, talk, or even open my eyes. I felt bad because even I didn't really realize it was low blood sugar. I kept thinking I'm such a piece of beef they're calling an ambulance because I'm too tired and would rather sleep. My mom was rather calm, made space for the EMTs, helped them in, etc., and my younger brother was pissed that they waited 15 minutes before calling for help, and my old man was a wreck. He took my hand and kept saying, "I'm here, buddy, stay with me buddy, you'll be alright, hang in there." TLDR, when I wasn't sleeping it was kinda like locked out syndrome.
Daughter was in a coma for a week due to a brain aneurysm, knew nurses' names and said she talked to Jesus. We are not a religious family.
I was counting backward from 10 and then I was waking up 8 days later. There was zero consciousness or awareness of time's passage.
I'm too early, so someone reply when there is answers.
It was just nothingness, like sleeping without dreaming. It's made me more afraid of death. I really hope there is more to dying than just eternal sleep.
I was in a medically induced coma for 3 weeks. I had some really strange dreams, although those could have been when they were weaning the drugs back to let me wake up.
After doing severe damage to my liver about a year ago, I was in a coma for 2 days. I heard bits and pieces of conversations and saw vivid imagery of random things. It was like being stuck in an infinite hallucination of my desires and nightmares. No matter how much I called out to my friends and family, they never heard me.
For some reason I want to be in a coma. Not only can you skip a few days or even weeks, some people also make their own worlds in their mind, and honestly that sounds awesome. However, I don't think it will be that fun to get into that coma nor getting out, so I am not gonna do it.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.